You may be tiny in stature, but your ambition matches that of the Yao Qing's warriors. Yes, I suggested to Yanqing that we find a place to have a decent meal. A hunter must be well fed before the hunt. Well, that's not up to me. Dig in. I called you here so you could enjoy the food. Oh. You'd give me time to enjoy a meal, but not yourself? Ever since you encountered those Borisan spies, you've been so busy that you've hardly eaten anything. You can't defeat Hule on an empty stomach. Take your time. Enjoy the meal and calm yourself. Zhao Qiao always said I'm the most impatient person among the Cloud Knights, and I can't argue with that. So, there's no reason for you to be more anxious than me. I've fought against Borisan abominations for years, and I know their ferocity and cunning well. The Borisan were clearly well prepared for this prison break, and now they are staying in the shadows. They have no reason to rush out into the open. When facing cunning and ferocious prey, the hunter must be more patient, biding their time to seize the golden chance for a decisive blow. Once Hule loses his patience and reveals himself, that's when we'll strike. Like I said, it's only one meal away. That's right. My people are busy collecting clues now. What's the situation, Wadza? Looks like your general has only taught you swordplay, not the art of the hunt. There's an old saying among the Borisan. In the forest, the hunter may easily become the hunted. While we may call ourselves the hunters now, chasing them blindly will only make us become the prey. Do not underestimate the enemy. Hule is not an ordinary Borisan that can be easily killed. The advantage in numbers means nothing when we face that monster. A vicious beast who hasn't tasted blood and flesh in 7 centuries is now lurking on the streets of the Luofu right before the war dance. This is what makes the situation treacherous and unpredictable. Exactly. That is why we must succeed in our first strike, or the situation will spiral out of control. You've heard of this military tactic, right? When you surround your enemy, leave one side open for them to escape. A skilled hunter must be well prepared, waiting for the prey at the most advantageous position. What would we do if we were the escapees from the shackling prison? While we can disguise ourselves and blend in with the crowd, we don't plan on staying here for long. In this case, what do we need most now? We predict their next move, and we take them down. Let's start from where you found those Borisan and corner our prey. Because I blocked all the relevant news to make it seem as if nothing had happened. Losing contact with their accomplices preparing the star skiff will surely put them on guard. However, the more well-prepared a plan is, the longer it takes to adjust when it's disrupted. If any Borisan wants to stick to the original plan despite the risks, they'll surely come back to Stargazer Navalia to check the situation. This is an automated area, so don't you think that there are a bit too many people here today? First, look at those 2 Skyfaring Commission staff members. They've been observing us in secret since we arrived here. Then there's a Cloud Knight soldier over there. Perhaps he's here for patrol, but each patrol team must consist of 2 members, and obviously he is not following the rules. Lastly, there's that craftsman wearing Artisanship Commission clothing. He's unusually focused on checking that device. If you have a target in mind, let's go investigate. Looks like you've been keeping an eye on the Sky Splitter. Have you noticed anything unusual? A peculiar issue? So, it seems that some Borisan have returned to Stargazer Navalia in disguise. The answer seems quite obvious. Remember when I mentioned that the Cloud Knights blocked all relevant news to make it seem as if nothing happened? Stargazer Navalia is not under lockdown. Their flimsy disguise has been exposed. Even if they try to hide, there's no way they can escape us. No. I never issued such an order. Perhaps you haven't met me on the battlefield, but I am certain you've heard my name. Now I'm asking you a question, so answer me. Tell me. How many more of your comrades are here? Where were you planning to meet Hule? Because I need answers. If I were to do that, I wouldn't be any different from you. I am the arrow that pierces the wolf's heart. I grant you a swift death. Before you close your eyes, you should know that I allowed him to escape. Because he will lead the Cloud Knights to Hule's hideout. This is the most common hunting tactic used by Borson. I know the methods of these abominations all too well. They always leave an escape route for their prey, allowing them to flee in fear. Then they chase them like it's a game. Borson get great satisfaction from the last struggles of their victims. Well, just a hazy past that I can barely recollect. Long ago, I was one of them. The word Borson was only used to refer to those wolf masters. I'm a Foxian who was born in one of the fallen territories. In their eyes, we're mere consumables. Cannon fodder used to slow down Xianzhou attacks on the battlefield. Speaking of stories, you've reminded me that now is not the time for them. Wadza, we've sent the warning from Stargazer Navalia. What's the situation on your end? Trust his judgment and keep watching. We'll be right there. The hunt is not over yet. Stay safe, Zhao Zhou. Activate all side cranes and have them scan everyone coming in and out of the port. Remain vigilant at all times. Any suspicious movements must be suppressed as quickly as possible before the situation gets out of hand. You two, follow me. Moza's signal's nearby, but we lost contact just a moment ago. He will be fine. Cloud Knights, search for the target. Wait. Don't go any closer. A declaration of war. Hunting is not a game. It is a battle of life and death. Are you ready for your death, abomination? Wadza, are you okay? Tell me, how is he planning to declare this war against me? With a one-on-one duel? Or with a hostage exchange, maybe? What did you just say? The moment you see your enemy's declaration of war, it means that they have already begun to take action. Do you remember what I told you before? Hunting is about thinking the same way as your prey, not just mindlessly chasing after them. What Hule wants is to see everyone on the Luofu descend into panic. He wants to see us lose our minds and waste our limited manpower scouring every inch of the Luofu for signs of an attack until we exhaust ourselves. It's like that party game that the people of the Yaoqing love to play. They hide an object under one of several bowls, then move the bowls around and have you guess which one the object is underneath. The way I see it, this is all nothing more than misdirection. No matter what Hule does, there is one truth that cannot be changed. He is trapped aboard the Xianzhou Luofu. The only way for him to escape is to find a ship. In his eyes, that ship is full of countless hostages. That would be the best place for him to go. So, that will also be our final battlefield. This is another lesson that you must learn outside of swordplay. Weighing your options and making a decision. There are always questions that we will ask ourselves, but never be able to answer. Before making a decision, we must destroy any hesitation that we are holding on to. Once we make a decision, we must fight off any regrets. There is a chance that we will make the wrong decision and allow our allies to be sacrificed in vain. There is a chance that we will predict our enemies' movements correctly, yet underestimate their strength and be overwhelmed in battle. But being lost in hesitation and failing to take any action will always be more harmful than taking the wrong path. We must make a decision, no matter what. Everyone, listen up. I will personally take charge of Starskiff Haven, evacuate the people, and prepare for any possible attacks. I will do my best to ensure that things are safe on the ground. Nameless, please lend us your strength as you did when the Ambrosial Arbor was reborn. I need you and Wildza to go in search of Jiao Cho, if Hule does come to attack the Sky Splitter. Lieutenant Yanqing, I need you to hold him there until I am able to arrive. Cloud Knights! The Borson have arrogantly decided to challenge us on Xianzhou territory. They vow that they will unleash a bloodbath along the streets of the Xianzhou. The unarmed civilians of the Xianzhou and countless visitors from afar are under our protection. Let me ask you, as Cloud Knights, will we allow the Borson to succeed with their plan? Be on your guard. Calling Starskiff Haven, have all Cloud Knights be on full alert for Borson attacks. Hold them back! I will be there immediately! Madam Yukong, after 30 years, we find ourselves fighting side by side once more. It's been a while since I've let loose. Let's get this started. We have cleared out the enemies in Starskiff Haven. We cannot allow the fighting to continue. This is now a race against time to stop this farce that Hule has created. I know Jiao Cho always wants me to know my limits and not get carried away, but now is the time to bring this to a swift end. Contact the Exalting Sanctum. Tell them if they see a light in the sky, all units are to retreat immediately. Madam Yukong, lend me your bow! Stand down, Wildza. I am here, Hule. What do you wish to say? Claiming to have family ties with the enemy sounds to me like an attempt at asking for mercy. Hule, are you begging me for mercy? I accept your challenge, Hule. Because the very moment you stepped aboard the Sky Splitter, you stepped onto your path to ruin. The hunt is finally over. Thank you for holding out so long. The Cloud Knights are withdrawing as we speak. Lieutenant Yanqing, how are you holding up? Everything's fine. We were able to suppress the Borson attacks. When I sensed that Hule was not on the ground, I raced to get here as quickly as I could. Who would have imagined that I would arrive late to the battlefield for the first time in my life? No, perhaps you young ones' blades were just too fast for me. I originally thought, in the best-case scenario, you would team up and hold this beast back while protecting yourselves. However, you joined forces and defeated Hule. The youth are truly to be feared and respected. Come, we need to lock up Hule once again before anything unexpected happens. Stop struggling, Hule. There's plenty of time for you to be tortured by your regrets when you go back to the shackling prison. This is the heart of the Borson Warhead, a product of the Plague Mark. I'll leave the next part to you. We cannot allow this thing to spread. I will do all within my power to consume this Crimson Moon. Once the situation changes, Lieutenant Yanqing, you are to enforce the Cloud Knight's military rules. Understood. Die, Borson. I will not allow any of you to leave the Sky Splitter. No one can live forever, Jiao Cho. This time, I must break my promise. Is this the Sky Splitter? Or somewhere else? Hule, you shouldn't be here. I saw you die with my own eyes. so-called survival of the fittest is nothing but an excuse. You cannot weaken my resolve, Rule. You aim to instill terror within me. Yet all of this is nothing but a phantom! What did you say? So this was the path that you prepared for me? To become a new you? I'm sure my answer doesn't need much explanation. I refuse. You do not understand, Hule. You have no idea what it is that I truly desire. When I was just a child, I stained my hands with blood for the first time, in order to escape the whips and shackles of the Wolfmasters. We ran and ran with all the strength we had, but we ended up losing each other. I escaped the hunting pack and encountered a woman that could fly. A Cloud Knight. Unfortunately, when I led her back in order to free my Kulor companions, there was nothing left there but a bottomless pit. In the years that followed, I followed the trail of that light alongside my Cloud Knight allies, and saw it fall countless more times. Gradually, I came to understand. That light was not some shooting star that carried wishes and aspirations. Each Lux arrow meant that countless lives in a helpless world were about to be obliterated. I prayed to the god of the skybow that I would never have to witness one of these shooting stars fall again. But they ignored my prayers. Perhaps. So, what is it that you yearn for, Hule? Why is it that you fight? I fight so that one day I will never have to witness another shooting star falling to the ground. So that just one more person can live and return to the Yaoqing alongside me. We are so similar. Both monsters that were born for war and will die for war. You were right when you said that, Hule. So, I shall pray to the heavens. Even if they do not respond to me, I pray that the arrows of the hunt will pierce the heart of every monster. Do you see me, shooting star? The knights are sworn to protect the Xianzhou. I will uphold this vow until my very last day.
Tears of blood, and all living creatures are loud and lamented. I once manned the storm and hunted the weak. Now, I will use your air beast as my weapon, and your name as my prey. Feixiao!
Your disguises and show you how cowardly and powerless you truly are, Hule!
A wolf lurks in the heart of every Boar's Head and Foxian. The moment you grow weak, it will devour you. Devour and envelop the earth.
Our little hunting game ends here. Mighty light of the heavens, wolf in my heart, come to me. We shall conquer as one! Victory is inevitable! My only enemy has always been myself.
General! General, you're awake.
What a coincidence. Someone else who refuses to listen to the doctor's orders. The healer does not heal himself. Don't try to act tough in front of me. I'm sorry, Zhao Chou. I didn't expect you to use poison that way. What a miscalculation. If only I'd found you sooner. If only I hadn't sent you to the shackling prison. Zhao Chou, your eyes. You can't see anymore, can you? I'm not sure. There don't appear to be any changes. However, the many doubts that once plagued me have dissipated. I don't know how to offer words of comfort, nor do I know much about curing others' ailments. I am just a warrior, so my pledge to you is simple. In this vast universe, there's bound to be someone who can heal your eyes. I'll find them. But until then, the resurgence of the Sanctus Medicus and the gathering of the Borsen are merely distractions orchestrated by an unseen force, meant to divide the Alliance's attention. Unfortunately, they picked the wrong fight this time. Once we return to the Yaoqing, I'll personally lead the Verdant Knights into battle. I vow to take down a Lord Ravager and teach the Ruined Legion the true meaning of the hunt. I apologize for my tardiness once again. The Alchemy Commission detained me for some time for a health examination. They released me only after ensuring I was in good condition. However, Hulei's demise might actually be a blessing in disguise. Broadcasting this news could derail the Borsen's resurgence and quash the ambitions of those who wish to take advantage of his return. Hand over Hulei's remains to the Xianzhou Yaoqing, and I'll handle the explanations to the Alliance. But what about the war dance? While the Wolf Hunt mission was a success, the events on the Sky Splitter remain a secret. However, the news of the Borsen's attacks on the streets will spread like wildfire. Her attempt to infiltrate the Xianzhou with the Borsen and sway the Lawfu preceptors to join the Sanctus Medicus's insurrection was unsuccessful. But I have a feeling that she is indifferent to the success of her plans. Was the seer strategist thinking of us or thinking of the fates we're destined for? The remains of the Swarm Author?